Hello, in this lesson we are going to learn about the process called mining, whether that's Bitcoin mining or some sort of other cryptocurrency mining. What is it? First of all, let's just do a brief recap on Bitcoin. So Bitcoin, as many other cryptocurrencies are, as they all are as far as I'm aware, Bitcoin is a peer-to-peer network, and it's not controlled by a single authority, and that single authority usually is the government. But Bitcoin is peer-to-peer, decentralized, distributed, and it is not controlled by a single authority. With conventional paper money, a central authority such as the government authority decides when to print, or you can call it issue, more money. This generally leads to deflation, but ultimately the money supply is controlled and regulated by the government. Whereas Bitcoin, as Bitcoin is decentralized and distributed, there is another method for more coins to be issued. So that's just like sort of almost like a history, like an overview of what Bitcoin is. People use special software to solve math problems. If you want to learn more about this, feel free to check out my other lessons. But all you need to know is these people are referred to as miners, hence the name mining, Bitcoin mining. Miners are rewarded with Bitcoin for solving the mathematical problems, and they're not always rewarded with a whole Bitcoin. A lot of the time they are a fraction of Bitcoin. It could be 1.0789 of a Bitcoin, for example. So it's not always a whole number. So miners are rewarded with Bitcoin for mining. But again, what are they doing? What are these mathematical problems being solved for? It is for the verification and improvement of Bitcoin transactions. So if I were to send some money to Bob, for example, Bitcoin, so if I were to send 5 Bitcoin, that transaction has to be verified to make sure it's a legit transaction. So miners work together to verify its validity. So that's essentially all miners are doing. And the the incentives, aka getting rewarded in Bitcoin, attract more miners. More miners make the system more robust and secure, because they are obviously checking the validity. So more miners, more verification going on, which leads to more adoption by the public. And this essentially has a feedback loop that is just constantly going round and round. Obviously, it's one of those catch-22s. It's where it can take a little while for it to get going, simply because you need this for that, you need this for that. But once it gets going, the incentives attract more miners. The more miners make the system more robust and secure, which ultimately leads to more adoption by the public. And then that makes people want to mine more, and then ultimately that makes the system even more secure, makes it look better than the alternatives as well. We're not finished here. There's some more stuff that I think we really need to know about Bitcoin mining. The Bitcoin network is the Bitcoin network automatically changes the difficulty of the maths problems that the miners are solving, and this is dependent, so it depends on how fast the problems are being solved. So it just ensures that not too many coins are being issued at any given time. And as I've mentioned in other lessons, the estimate is by 2140 or 21 million Bitcoins will have been issued. And post that, the incentives won't be for earning new Bitcoins. It'll just be sort of as a reward. They'll be using transaction reward. So it will slightly change, obviously, the closer we get to that date and when we do hit that date, but there will still be incentives. And I'm sure, because we have over 100 years before we hit this date, that more incentives will be implemented into the system to keep miners, well, solving it. So just one last thing. You might be thinking, can I do this? Can I mine? Technically, yes. Originally, normal CPUs, or normal processors in a computer, were sufficient for mining. They could easily solve the mining mathematical algorithms. But then as the difficulty increases, remember I said the difficulty increases automatically in the network. So depending on how fast the problems are being solved, miners realized graphics cards were faster at solving the problems. So I'm thinking, yay, let's use graphics cards. Only problem with that is they got very hot, and this is the main thing, used a lot of electricity. So in many cases, the actual cost of mining or the rewards that you was given was outweighed by the actual cost of just the electricity, and that's ignoring if you were to purposely buy and build a computer, a system for mining. And it wasn't just single GPUs, people were using multiple GPUs in some crazy configuration. You just have to Google Bitcoin mining, you'll see some amazing and crazy configurations. Then ultimately, this led to something called an ASIC card, which is it's short for application specific integrated circuit chips. Basically, processors that were designed just for the process of mining. These were very fast, a lot faster than the processors and even faster than GPUs, and very efficient in terms of the electricity. They range from a few $100s to thousands of dollars, and obviously the more expensive ones provide you with more processing power for mining. So that's a overview of what mining is. If there are any concepts that you are unsure of, feel free to go through the video again and check them out, or feel free to message me directly and I will lend a hand. As usual, I look forward to seeing you in my next lesson.